Okay, so this would be our first session. Now, whenever there is some problem with respect to visibility, please let me know, correct? So that I can make light arrangements properly. The page is visible to you all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay, so let us try to see like some terminologies which we are going to make use of in this course. Okay, so I'm going to rather take photo of each page and I'm going to add that on our course site. Okay, Moodle course site that can be used by you like as class notes. So probably whenever needed, you can have your own notes for the respective concept which I would be taking. Fine. So today we'll be mainly addressing terminologies, okay, which we are going to make use of. Fine. In this course. Okay, so let us take first terminology called alphabet. Is it visible or should I have bigger font in writing? If you want
Yes, sir, it
to be
is
bigger
visible.
font, I will. Okay, so you let me know accordingly, yeah, so that I can make changes into my handwriting too in respect of having bigger words. Okay, now whenever we do talk about a language, okay, when we are taught any language that we speak, say you pick Marathi, you pick Hindi, you pick English, you pick your own mother tongue. What you generally are taught? Professional teaching. I mean to say professional teaching in a class, maybe in a school. You generally are taught the alphabet set. Correct? Say for example, for English, we do use small a to z, capital A to Z, and so on. Correct? For Hindi, again, we use similar kind of set. Okay, written in the respective language, in the regional language, respective regional language. On the similar part, like whenever we do teach, we do pick any any programming language book. I assume you must have seen at least one of the programming book. I hope you have a course called Java programming in this semester, correct? So you might have tried finding out information about some books probably. So there you need to know what is the character set used, which can be used for creating reserved words, keywords used by the respective programming language. Okay, so the character set in general is referred as an alphabet. Now this alphabet is, let me write, an alphabet is any finite set, okay, of symbols. Any finite set of symbols. Fine. Now when we say any finite set of symbols, what exactly it means to us? What then? What those symbols would be then? Those symbols can be either of them. Like it could be numbers, like integers from 0 to 9. It could be say your characters from English language. Correct. So to represent this alphabet, we use a notation called sigma. Okay, this is a notation used to represent this concept. Notation used to represent alphabet. Okay, now using this alphabet, we can create something called as a string. Okay, now what this string is? Now how will you define a string in your own language, the way that you must have seen rather in a Python or probably in C? How you define a string? String is how you define string? String is combination of characters, correct? From the character set. So you pick say for example A to Z, or if I pick say rather in yesterday's class, I used some Hindi text rather while communicating the things. So I said मुझे जाना है चाय पीने. So here it came M, M, Z, J, न, ज, न, hai, ch, ho, ch, then y, p, n. Correct. So we use some kind of mechanism. We applied some operations or processing there, and we came up with this word mujhe. Then nextly we came jana. Correct. So we formed these strings. These are the particular strings that came up. Now they are formed by concatenating all the characters possibly available there. So you have these strings formed in terms of length. So for example, in this case, length of this is 1. This is 2. Suppose I write, suppose aap nahi. If I write like this, so then this would be a string with 3 characters and so on. Correct. So this string would be what? A string is a finite sequence of symbols. Okay. Now these symbols should be taken from sigma. What are the sigma that we talked about? We are going to take symbols from that sigma and we are going to form the things. Say for example, let us say if I have sigma containing A, B and C, then I can come up with a string. Okay, I can conclude, okay, that BA, BA, AB, CAB. So if you see how I formed this, I took these characters and repeated some occurrences of them, and then I came up with this. So is a string on sigma. Correct? So you can come up with any kind of string like this. So as an example that I gave for Hindi language before a while, you have words definitely like starting with 1 character, then 2 characters, then 3 characters, 4 characters, and so on. But every language will have its own limitations. Like how many, what would be the maximum number of characters in a word possibly could be there, or in a string could be there. Correct? Okay, so that is where you require an operation called length. Length of a string. What exactly this length of string is? It is number of symbols present in a string. Now suppose suddenly I stop writing and if I don't say anything, what would be your reaction? Now you must have seen even like whenever one speaks rather in front of somebody, or even you are talking with yourself. After speaking some words, maybe after every word there is a pause, where you identify, okay, I am speaking these many words. So for example, I am speaking these many words. So how you identified that what are the words that I used here are the proper words? You tried finding out, are they valid strings? If they are valid strings, then you concluded yes, that seems to be a proper statement. So it is number of symbols present in a string. So if at all, like in this case, how many symbols are there? Can we count? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So length of this string is 9. So how you define this length of string? So you define this string, length of string by using an operation called mod. Okay, which is represented by two things, like let's say symbols like this, mod. Okay, generally you use it for example, above your enter key, this symbol is there added along with a slash. This would be used to represent length. So suppose if this is string W, for example, Then if I talk about length of W, then it is 9. Correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what would be valid strings there for this set? So if I start writing the strings for this set, what would be those strings? So I will write A. This is valid string. This is valid string. Then AA, AB, AC, BA, BB, BC, CA, CB, CC. Then go on. Correct? Correct. So I may have these many strings. Now what you see is something common here. Like it could be infinite because you keep creating such kind of strings varying with length. So I'm changing the length. Here I had a length 1. Here I had length 2. Then I can have length 3, length 4, length 5, length 6, length 10, length 100, length 1000. You can have multiple such strings. Correct. But then my sudden question is, why haven't we talked about length 0? Why haven't we talked about length 0? Can there be something called length 0? Like for example, when we use say while communicating or while reading novels, no matter whether it is Hindi language, Marathi language or whatever, you use some words there and those words are specifically telling you sannata. Now what exactly that sannata means? It represents that there is nothing talked. Now suppose if like think of this, like I'm going back to home and then after going back to home, I was told that something mischief happened there at my home. My younger son did something. I'm watching towards him. Now, depending upon the kind of interaction between my eyes and his eyes, action is understood by that particular child. Whether am I angry, whether am I happy, I'm not speaking anything. Correct? I'm not speaking anything, but the facial expressions are telling what exactly in which mood I am now currently in. Correct. So if at all it is to be worked out in some manner rather, how can I represent? Why not have then length to be string 0? Length of a string to be 0. Why not? If at all I do have a string to be length string with length 0, then I can represent such a string by a notation, and that notation is called as empty string. A string with length 0 is called as empty string or null string. Fine. Empty string or null string. Then if I am having some word with length 0, then how should I specify it here? Because I can represent it when it is 1, when it is 1, when it is 1, when it is 2. But how about how about this case where length is 0? How exactly I'm going to represent this then? So a string with length 0 is denoted by a notation like this called as epsilon. Or in some books you find this notation. Okay, this is perfectly available on, you can see if you have a laptop in like in on your keyboard, if you see the character above 6 exactly, you can see that. 1 minute. Huh? Correct. So like if at all it is the case in respect of these all aspects, how do I add it here as a representation? Correct? How do I add as a representation? So I definitely will add a symbol like this. Okay, so rather this one or this one, you use either of them. You use either of them. 1 minute, please. Let me add some computer science students too. They are requesting. Please hold. Please hold for a while.
Yes, sir.
So I will repeat what exactly I added. So we were talking about few terminologies which we are going to make use of in this course. So starting with an alphabet, string and length of string. Okay, so an alphabet is any finite set of symbols, and a notation that we use to represent this alphabet is sigma. Okay, this is used for representing alphabet. There's a definition of string. String is a finite sequence of symbols taken from sigma. Suppose your sigma contains ABC. Then there can be a string W, which may be represented like this. So any combination of characters with this case. Correct. Then we define an operation called length of a string. Length of a string is defined as number of symbols present in a string. Correct, number of symbols present in a string. So like we use this mod kind of operator. In mathematics, we do call it as mod. Okay, so mod kind of operation is used to represent length. So for example, in this case, if I talk about, if I say this to be a string W, I define it like length W equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's why we wrote 9. So this is how we represent length. Now suppose if I start writing all possible strings generated with this set. So I start with A, valid 1, B, C, AA, AB, AC, BA, BB, BC, CA, CB, CC, and so on. So you must have seen here, like I'm varying this or I'm increasing this set or adding these elements in this set by combining different characters. So in this sample case, whatever the sample case I used, I started with length 1, length 2, and then I stopped. But I said dot dot dot. There might be more elements too. Okay, with varying length. Fine. So what if, like in this case, I talked about only valid words with length to be more than 1. Length can be in thousands. Now suppose if I talk about a language in general, like in yesterday's example, you must have seen I wrote this kind of program. Okay, where I said, I asked you the question whether is this a valid program or not. So some of you said yes, some of you also said yes to this, but you call this as null program or an empty program. It doesn't contain anything. Now our empty definition is 0. No, empty means there is nothing executable available here. Now when you create this program, when you create a dot out would not be 0 length. There would be something added there. Correct. So if at all I have to rather talk about a particular language, there can be a string with length 0, and we represent or we call that length 0, a string with length 0 as empty string or null string, which can be represented either this one or this symbol. So some books use this, some books use this. Like if you refer either of the books, the KLP Mishra book, they refer it like this. In that Rajiv Motwani's book, rather, for compilers and the theory of automata theory and computation, they use this epsilon. So if I have to add a length 0 here, so I can add because as this is a varying length, why not start with 0? If I start with 0, then I write epsilon, then A, B, C, A, B, A, B, C, C, and so on. And I can go on. So this would be infinite set. Now this, what will you call this set as then? Where it is from? It is in terms of varying length. What will you call this as then? You will call this as a particular name. So that name is given as clean closure, or in some books it is referred as clean star. It is represented as sigma star. It is represented as sigma star. So whenever my sigma is ABC, so my sigma star would be like this: epsilon A, B, C, and so on. So though I wrote up till length 2 only, it may be the case that you can write it more than this. So then, like suppose if at all say my sigma contains A, what would be my sigma star? Go with this definition. What it would be? First of all, length 0. So you write epsilon. Length 1 A, length 2 A, length 3 A, length 4 A, length 5 A, length 6 correct, and so on. So this would be sigma star for it. Similarly, suppose if I have sigma to be 0, 1. What would be sigma star? Can somebody tell me? What would be sigma star? Yes, what would be sigma star?
Epsilon.
Okay, very good. Epsilon, then
0.
very good.
1.
1,
0, 0.
0, 0.
0, 1.
Very good. 1,
1,
0,
0.
1,
1,
1,
1.
1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Correct. Then, so if you see, I can write 0, 0, 0. Correct. Then 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, and so on. Correct. So this would be a very big set. So if I remove this epsilon, can I call this as binary?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So ultimately you
Sir.
came up with something. Okay. But in binary, we don't have anything called empty. But if you must be seeing like when we started learning mathematics, every where too much importance is there for 0. Now think of this, how our numbers got formed. There is nothing called 10, nothing called 20. In our number system, like our sigma, ultimately for number system, for decimal is this. Decimal number system you must have learned somewhere or you must have heard. Correct. So if you see your numbers are formed how? They are formed like this only. And that's why importance is given to 0. For 0, for us 0 is empty. Correct, but we don't say because 0 is also having some kind of value, because if you, depending upon where exactly you put, suppose I thought, okay, I should give you this much amount of money. But then suddenly you increase 2 zeros, value changes. Correct? Value changes. Because now this 0 in rupees perspective, adding zeros to this side would be increasing its value. But adding zeros to this side may not hamper anything. Value remain intact. What are the value that you write? Adding 0 to this side is not going to make any change, but adding zeros to this side definitely is going to make the change. So how your numbers are formed? Think of this now. Let us take an example. So let us say I wrote 0, then 1, 2, up to 9. I again wrote 0, 1, 2, up to 9. Right? Do this continuously. Now you write 0 here. You write 0 here. So you got 0, 9. You write 1, you write 1, you write 1. You got 2-digit number. You got 2-digit number. You got 2-digit number. Correct? So this is how your numbers are formed. Every number about 10 or greater than equal to 10 doesn't exist at all. They are formed like this. They are formed like this. Like we don't call them as strings. Do we call? We call this as number because it is having some kind of weight in the sense of how you are considering them, rather on some front. Correct? On some front. And then ultimately you come up with this, so that you call set of numbers. Right? But then, like if I see, as I said, 0 is having value. In this case, this empty also is having value, because if this empty program is not compiled by a code compiler, then that means what? If this doesn't get compiled, this or this, then ultimately what it means, it doesn't consider this empty program. So program your language may not contain anything. Then what is it's used to form the language? Correct? Okay, let us move further. So is there any question till this? Now when I said before a while, like what if I remove this existence of epsilon? I don't want epsilon at all in my language. How can I get this aspect where I will be removing this epsilon? So what I do is I use a concept called positive closure. This positive closure is represented by sigma plus. And it is written as sigma plus equal to sigma star minus epsilon. Correct? Now, if it is the case, ultimately, what would be sigma plus for this? Sigma equal to A. What would be sigma plus? You remove this epsilon, you directly start doing this. Done. You remove only epsilon from this set. Same thing would be here. Correct? Now think of this. Suppose our sigma had A, B, C, D up to Z. You keep creating these kind of strings. How many strings possibly would be generated? What do you think? You may not be able to count them at all. Correct? You may not be able to count them at all. Now, if it is the case, then you are going to pick only those which are valid for you. Say, for example, if I talk about say A to Z, if I say BOY, is this valid one? So you identify, you search into your set of words. Is boy valid? Yes, you said yes. Boy is valid string. But suppose if I write YOB, suppose I write YOB, is this valid word for you? No. But when you count the sigma star, this YOB would be there. So what exactly you do? You define a language, and that language is defined like this. Language is the language. I will write lang over sigma is a subset of sigma star. You are not going to pick all strings. You are going to pick few of them, the way that I give you an example. Correct? So if at all if I am talking about sigma to be, say for example, A, B, C, D, and so on. So your sigma star would be what? First of all, epsilon. Then A, B, C, D, up to Z. Correct? Among this length one, only this is applicable. This is not applicable. Then there would be I, which is applicable. Then other things are again not applicable, because we do talk about A and I to be only two characters applicable in part as a part of language. How many other characters are there with length 1? In English, there are only A and I, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What if I talk about length 2? Then you start like AA, AB, AC, and so on up to ZZ. So you will identify that of, and, as, B, by are few of them which are valid. This AAAB probably may not be part of at all. Correct? Or EG, IS. Correct? At. You can come up with many such more examples. Everything would not be part of it, but these would be. So what ultimately happened when English language was formed? Now, do you know all words of English? Or okay, let us not talk about English. Do you know all words of your mother tongue? You may or you may not. Correct? You may or you may not. But even if you are knowing that, do you use all words together? Never. It never happens. So ultimately, suppose if I have to define a language like this, suppose my sigma contains 0, 1. Now I'm defining language. L is a language which is set of all strings over sigma with length to be 2. Okay, now if I compute sigma star, it would be very big, but I wanted only length 2. So if I compute sigma star, what it would be? Epsilon 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, and so on, correct? But I'm going to talk about only length 2. What would be L? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. Done. So my language only contains these characters. So you may say why we are calling them as characters, because I'm talking everything in terms of symbol perspective. What my computer can understand? What my computer can understand? Some of you may say machine language. Okay, machine language. Machine language means what? And you say it seems to be binary because in Matrix movie we saw there are zeros and ones. Correct? Now if it is zeros and ones, then how exactly my code gets translated into 0 and 1? There is definitely kind of process happening with respect to the signals. Now suppose if I design an IoT based application where suppose I clap 2 times, ultimately this light should be switched off. Or suppose if I say, if I do this 2 times, now you can see like I have an operation with my light, what are the external light that I'm using. So I switched it off now. So suppose if I switch on, suddenly change is there. If I use some different color pattern, if I go again another color pattern, it is changing subsequently. So it may be controlled with respect to what the action I am taking or what the action I am applying exactly. And according to that only reaction would be there. Because I am defining it, that's why the changes can be seen. Now suppose like with assumption like whatever I'm speaking now you all are, could understand because I'm speaking in words which are known to you. Suppose if I start speaking in some language where words are not known to you, what will happen? Think of suddenly you are asked to go to China. No one should go right now, at least during the corona, to China at least. Suppose you go in China, will you be able to understand their language?
No.
But let me
No,
tell
no,
you,
sir.
No,
it,
sir.
it is one of the strong language. See, like we had various words, we cannot conclude that our dictionary is complete. Our dictionary is complete. Our words are like this device. What are the device that we are using almost every time? This one. This changed our language a lot. The way that we type messages, new words came into picture. And we even saw the dictionary is getting modified for few of these words too. Then if this is the problem with our languages, then that is the reason why you cannot directly come up with exact translation. People are working on machine translation. Like natural language processing is one important research area rather in computer science. And still we don't have any proper mechanism for either Hindi, English, or even Marathi. We could not have, because we have very big set of words which even everyone may not know. Like when you join corporate world, you learn too many new words which you might never have heard about. Like with assumption that you all are at your home. Now you know only those words which are spoken generally in your circle, rather your friends, by your teacher, or maybe by your family. Suppose you suddenly change your uh, bandwidth or your circle. If circle gets increased, till the circle is like this small one, it is okay. Everything can be understood. You increase the circle. You would be getting new words. You learn. You keep learning. Your machine starts learning. You increase the circle size. Your alphabet set though remains same, but your words are getting updated. This happens with English or most of the spoken languages except China. In China, there is a fixed set of word. There is no word newly came up with. They do have their own search engines. They do have their own Windows versions. They have created their own operating systems. Everyone cannot directly go and add your applications there. What are the words that are there? They are fixed, and that's why in language processing, natural language processing, they are far ahead than other languages. There is a group in Triple IT Hyderabad which works on Hindi translation. There is CDAC team rather which works on Hindi translation. Like if I start translating Hindi to English, see, that is the reason why transliteration came. Like I don't know how many of you do use it, but let me show you. Say for example, I'm showing you this as an example. Fine. So I have an indic keyboard added with my mobile. Suppose if I pick this, okay, and if I start writing here, aap kaha ho. So the way that I typed, it said aap kaha ho, correct? So what actually I typed? Aap, AAP. It wrote it Hindi. Aap kaha. So it said kha. No, I don't want this. So I can see multiple suggestions. Aap kaha. Now this session I will pick this. This transliteration came into picture because of this ambiguity in the words in our spoken languages. And that's why it could not translate. Because the way you utter those speak the word, meaning might change. So in a movie of one of the movie of Amir Khan, you must have heard he tried explaining how you use words, how your expressions are while speaking words. Ultimately, meaning changes at that time, at that point of time. And that whole stuff, like whole natural language processing, is heavily dependent on this course. So basic part of every language is this: how you come up with your language. What would be your valid words? What would be your invalid words? Every language has its own keywords, reserved words. Like for example, in C, I can write main. I cannot write int main here as a variable because it is not permitted that way directly. But what if I write it? Try doing this. You might not have done that, but try doing this. Like you write here XYZ as a function name, and here write a variable as int main and see whether it accepts it or not. It may accept it because whenever you are including them into these brackets, meaning may change. Okay, by the way, that is language perspective. But same thing, like whenever we are standing, suppose we are in a class right now, all you are in a class. As you are at different locations, you could not communicate directly in a voice mode. Probably you can do that by muting here and then calling on phone. The way before a while I did to add GISA and one person from MCA. While I did that, I spoken with them, but I completely muted you people. I said you will not be able to hear me, whatever I'm saying. So like while I'm speaking, now you must have seen nowadays we are facing huge lot of problems rather in terms of receiving a phone call. Some words are we cannot like listen properly due to connectivity issues. Even like while I moved this hand, it takes some amount of time rather, correct, to show to you. So the way that I do see this, you may not be able to see that in the same pattern. It is taking a delayed one. There are multiple other issues included here as well. Now there's a facility rather like let me see like if I can add. Yeah. Now you will see probably towards. OK, yeah. So whatever I'm speaking now would be shown to you. Can you see on your team? You may not be able to, but now let me show you this thing for a while. Whatever I'm speaking would be shown to you here. Like in this case, you can see whatever I'm speaking is shown here. I don't know whether is it visible to you all right now on your software, but whatever I'm speaking, because the captions are added. Now how it identifies that? Now like people's what I identified one thing rather with my nephew, what he did was he was about to write an answer. And how he wrote it? So he opened a keyboard. OK, and when we add this keyboard there, there's a mic below here. So if I say this, OK, I want to send you a message. You will see like whatever I'm speaking, it is directly typing it. So maybe because of the language that is chosen. So if I choose this and if I change languages, suppose if I say stop this Marathi, let me stop it. OK, now it would be English. Now let us see what exactly it types there. Now it depends on how it is understanding what are the words that I'm speaking, because it is not that much intelligent to read or listen every word that I'm speaking. But you must have seen some words are already picked. So maybe like what exactly I was giving you an example of my child. What he does is like he has a device, OK, like this mobile, and he joins with a laptop. So he starts Office 365 of his father. OK, and there's a mic button available. OK, so whatever is heard by that device, like when a teacher speaks, automatically the notes are created. Now you will see like whatever I spoke before a while is shown. Now you wonder how much time it took for me to type in this text. Correct? But ultimately this is a feature. Now how exactly it is identifying whatever I'm speaking is how exactly it could phase out, or it could search it, that whatever he is speaking should be understood properly by making use of machine learning rather, so that whatever I speak can be understood by it and it can type appropriately. And this could happen because it is listening every word that I'm speaking. So when I said word, it never took it as say for example, my word was WORD. Now see, it could not understand few things, so it suddenly types something which is not probably valid one. But you definitely can edit this so that editing will help you out to get the notes. So this I said, OK, this looks to be very intelligent move rather by that kid who identified a methodology to take out the notes. Whatever teacher speaks is recorded. Recording is good. Likewise, for example, I'm recording these sessions and keeping that recording available there. Correct. But if at all I keep these documents into my Office 365, OK, then it may give me a good feature rather to make use of. OK, so there is a recorder available on your laptop, desktop, or even mobile, even like what are the devices that you use to join in. Correct. So appropriately, those things can be used to do this kind of activity. Right. So let me give you an example. Suppose let me see if I can show you that part too. So let me see if I can enable it right now so that it would type in everything. Maybe I may have to make, OK, it requires me to do the settings probably. OK, yeah. So let me share the screen. Let us see whether it goes with it. Let us see whether it goes with it. You must have seen like whatever I'm speaking is visible there, correct? Have you seen that? So if you open office.com, do this for a while. You open office.com and you with your team account, you do have that access. So you write office.com. OK, go here towards left. Definitely it will require your login. Go here, pick a blank document. When you pick that blank document, OK, there is a dictator. So you start that dictator. Ultimately, when you start the dictator, it will start taking the notes. And like generally, we saw we saw this kind of mechanism by the secretaries. Office secretaries used to take notes, or even you can take these notes that way. Whatever I'm speaking, why not have that added there? This will give you like you can save this file now as say a document or whatever Nitin Patil spoke on 6th of October. Everything would be stored here. The majority of words are identified. Now some words which are not identified by it would be wrong. You can definitely correct them at the later stage whenever you see them. Now how exactly it identified this application is working now? This application is internally making use of some machine learning. Some kind of machine learning probably. And it could understand whatever I'm speaking. So it is from speech to text technology that it is using. And that gives me a good feature rather to come up with some kind of solution. Now, whatever the way that I'm speaking the words, it is writing those characters only or those words only. Correct. So it is not making the jumbling in the words even. Maybe some words like when I said jumbling, it converted it to gambling because it could not understand that jumbling. So when I said jumbling, so it took jumble and ing, jumbling. Now see, depending upon how it hears, the machine hears it, it tries to translate it. So this may be good mechanism to take notes. Why not? But ultimately our idea here is what? It is trying to generate these words and whatever is not valid, it would be showing us towards the end as say invalid words. So maybe let me stop here recording this text and let us see where exactly the errors are. Now it stopped. So you will see like this word came double. Correct? It tries to suggest, it gives me suggestion when I write secretaries. So it says secretaries should be written like this. Correct? And then it suddenly will give you some important. Now I have used, or rather I am using something called Grammarly. You can install that even. It is free now with us with Windows. Okay. So when you are here, you can get like Windows activated for your application too, for your laptop too, because this Office 365 is complete setup available with you. OK, all such applications. There is a cloud available, which is OneDrive for you. You can store your all files here. What are the assignments that you say? Our recordings are also stored here. So let me show you for a while. Recordings. So you will see that there are different files generated. Okay, and these are the recordings available with every course for each course. Like for example, ADC Maths. So like if I add some material, for example, in one of my class, probably today. Okay, let me see if I can come up with, yeah, LLAP online session. So if I add some document, then they can be shown here. What are the screenshots or things that I'm adding? Those would be shown there. Now, idea behind showing you this is what I wanted to show you, like how exactly it happens on the side where we exactly we can see application of this course. Okay, any question, query, by the way? Okay, so
No, sir.
if at all there are some questions, you can definitely let me know. I would be adding details now on our Moodle site.